When I was studying molecular biology at UCLA, I realized that a lot of the genetic disorders were really at the final stage where you could go after treatment. And I really wanted to treat something that had never been treated before. Started that first infusion, I talked about all the history, 30 years of history, to come to one moment in time. You start that infusion and the exhilaration of having sort of finished a relay race.
We're getting inquiries from people around the world who had been hearing about our enzyme therapy work. Well, what a difficult challenge. How do you say yes to people and how do you say no to other people? Because saying no to people could be saying to them that they're never going to treat and your child's going to die. There's nothing else you can do that is more uplifting and compelling than being there in the room treating a patient for the first time. That has consumed me and what I've been trying to do since that time.
And there is that special bond then between those who are hoping to get treated and those trying to develop the treatments. That even if it doesn't work, that we know that we're there trying to do it, and you're there at least knowing that someone is trying.
It became obvious to him, and he was the first one I ever heard verbalize it, that the rare voice is unheard, and we all have a very strong voice, but it's individual.
When I first started 10 years ago, most knew nothing about rare diseases. One actually joked and said, "Oh, rare diseases, that's where you can't drink diet soda."
What gets me moving towards EveryLife at the very beginning was the reality of letting others know they may not have the same disorder, but they have the same drive. And together, we really can move mountains.
We were very successful at our very first lobby day. We actually got 5 provisions into the FDA user fee reauthorization. We were able to bring even more advocates. The next year we had our first legislative conference, and then we were able to really start the movement for the 21st Century Cures legislation. And over the years, we grew and we grew and we grew. We're now here in 2019. We plan to have 450 advocates from 49 different states.
Together, we represent over 7,000 diseases, and that's 30 million people.
You have the entire community of people who are affected by rare diseases.
Other people that understand what I'm going through.
A whole bunch of different people from all walks of life working on the same goals.
We all are in the same space.
When you come to one of the events and you see this is where they're organized, this is where everyone realizes we can make a difference.
Our goal is to connect every member of Congress with a rare disease patient who lives in their district, because we want members of Congress to not think about rare diseases as this abstract thing. You don't need to be an expert in rare disease legislation. You don't actually need to know anything about legislation or policy or politics. All you need to know is your personal story.
Advocacy can take many forms, and there's no right or wrong way to speak out.
My diagnosis wasn't the end of my story, even when I thought that it was.
We give a family a chance at hope and at life.
People's lives are counting on us.
Cheers to cure!
All right.
I see EveryLife as the organization that changed not something, but changed everything.
Find your voice. Tell your story. It matters.
Every voice.
Every voice. Every voice. Every voice. Every voice.
Every voice. Every voice
matters.